Imagine waking up in the middle of the night to the sound of someone kicking in your door. By the time you figure out what's going on and get to your feet, you peek down the hall and see two intruders. One of them is brandishing a large knife. What do you do? Do you think you would survive this kind of situation? If this were to happen at my home, I think I have a very good chance of survival because I'm a gun owner. And I'm here to talk to you today about gun control, my thoughts against it, and why I think being a gun owner is great. I'm going to tell you about the different uses for guns. I'm going to tell you about some of the myths about guns. I'm going to tell you about our constitutional right to own a gun in the United States of America. And I'm also going to tell you about what you can do to help fight the battle against gun control. Let's start talking about some of the uses of guns. My first main point is going to be the uses of guns. Guns can be used for many things, such as hunting, for instance. Some people still prefer to hunt their own food. Guns can also be used for protection. Protection both personal and property. Guns can be used for sporting, such as clay shooting, for instance. They can also be used for target shooting, to brush up on your shooting skills. Now let's talk about the rights you have as a gun owner in the United States of America. My second main point is that gun ownership is our constitutional right. The United States Constitution was signed September 17th of 1787. The Bill of Rights with 10 amendments to the Constitution was ratified in 1791. Included in the Bill of Rights was our Second Amendment, or, as you may know it, the right to bear arms. The Second Amendment states, quote, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." End quote. Now I emphasize the word infringed in that amendment. The Merriam-Webster online dictionary at www.merriam-webster.com defines the word infringe as, quote, "to encroach upon in a way that violates law or the rights of another," end quote. So basically the Second Amendment states that if the government takes our gun away, they are violating our rights. Let's talk about a few of the myths about guns that are out there. Main point number 3 is going to be there are many myths about guns. The first myth I want to talk about is that guns are only used to kill people. That is not true. Gary Kleck, professor of criminology at Florida State University, wrote in his 1997 book titled "Targeting Guns, Firearms and Their Control" that, quote, "firearms in private hands are used an estimated 2.5 million times a year to prevent crime," end quote. So the myth that guns are only used to kill people is not true. They can also be used to prevent crime. The second myth I want to talk about is this: as gun ownership increases, so does crime. That is as well not true. And I've actually enlarged a graph that I found. It's based on statistics from a National Crime Victimization Survey in 2000 taken by the Bureau of Justice Statistics. Now as you can see, this right here is going to be your handgun supply, this solid black line. And as the handgun supply increases over the years 1973 to 1994, this is going to be your total property crime, decreasing. So as handgun ownership increases, property crime decreases. That makes sense. I think someone's going to be less likely to break into a home that they think might have an armed citizen in it. Don't you? Now, let's talk about what you can do today to help fight the battle against gun control. My main point number 4 is going to be you can help protect our rights as U.S. citizens. What you can do to help protect our rights is go to www.nra.org and donate today. NRA.org is a website for the National Rifle Association, the biggest association fighting the battle against gun control today. There are many ways to donate using this site, such as one-time donations. You can buy a membership for yourself or a gift membership for someone else. They have an online store on NRA.org that sells products that are gun-related, t-shirts, hats, memorabilia and such, that all the proceeds go to fight that battle. So let's end by recapping what we've covered here today. We talked about how guns are used for many things, such as hunting, target shooting, and protection. We also talked about how we as Americans have the constitutional right to own guns. We talked about the myths that are out there about guns. We also talked about what you can do today to help fight that battle and donate. Let me tell you a true story that was published in July 2012 in the issue of American Rifleman magazine. Willie White, 75, was watching a basketball game at about 1:15 a.m. when he heard a steady banging at his door. White armed himself with a rifle before an 18-year-old intruder was able to kick in the door. White said, I quote, "I was nervous. I figured if someone's hostile enough to break your door down, he's capable of anything. So once he came inside my house, I shot him." End quote. The intruder sustained a single gunshot wound that proved fatal. His 2 accomplices fled the scene. Now, I don't believe if Mr. White had been armed, he would have been able to write this story. So again, please go to www.nra.org and donate today and help fight for our constitutional right. Thank you.